Good people, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of the All Go Podcast. I am your host, Desmond. Thank you for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Want to talk today a little bit about Michigan football and the topic of being really good versus being elite. And Michigan is currently going through that process right now. And it is a very difficult thing to do, to go from being a pretty good team or a really good team, a really good program, to becoming elite. Because what you're doing is you're trying to play the catch-up game, and it's not impossible because we've seen teams do it before, but you're still playing catch-up. You're trying to get to a place that other teams already are. And when you think about how do I get there, there's a couple different ways, but it's basically the main three things that head football coaches are tasked with doing day in and day out. First is recruiting, getting the best possible group of talent that you can have on your campus. That's first and foremost. Number two is developing that talent, developing those players, and taking a guy and having him realize his potential on campus with you, with the staff that you put in place. And the third is the type of system that you run. And at the end of the day, if you are a team that is behind a team that's elite, right? If you're behind, use for example Alabama. If you're behind Alabama, well, they have a track record of those things. High recruits, right? Development, their system that they run, and they put a lot of guys in the NFL. So if I am a five-star recruit and a high-level talent, and I'm making the decision on an elite team versus a really good team, well, the things that are typically important, which a lot of it is winning and getting to the next level, the elite team has already shown again and again the track record to do it, whereas a really good team may or may not have that track record. So it's just a really difficult thing, and Jim Harbaugh and Michigan are doing that right now. It would be hard to say that they are not an elite team, an elite program, with just the last 2 years that they have put together. It's been incredibly impressive, especially when you think of what it came after, right? The COVID year was an absolute disaster for Michigan. There were a lot of people saying that Jim Harbaugh should be fired, hoping he took a job in the NFL, like all different types of things. And then the next 2 years you go lose one conference game in 2 seasons, and you're getting ready to go back to the Big Ten championship, and you've basically all but guaranteed another spot in the college football playoff. I mean, it is a very difficult thing to do, and Michigan is doing a terrific job right now of getting themselves in that elite category, that elite conversation. I was someone who was critical of Jim Harbaugh. Was as hard on him as probably anyone out there, but in the same token, because I felt like he himself underperformed with the main things that a head coach is tasked with doing, and now he is absolutely nailing it, and I want to make sure I give him all the credit that he definitely deserves. So kudos to him, kudos to Michigan, the Michigan fan base. They are rolling right now. So they are going to play going to Indianapolis on Saturday to play Purdue. They're pretty heavy favorite in that game. And like I said, I fully expect Michigan to be Big Ten champions once again, and probably the either number 1 or number 2 seed in the college football playoff. So, and this is also a year where things are wide open. There is no 2019 LSU or 2020 Alabama team where there's just an absolute juggernaut. Even for as good as Georgia has been, they've also shown that they're a bit vulnerable. They have games against Missouri that they were in, close games. They gave up, I think, 22 points to Kent State. So I know a lot of people have gravitated to the Oregon beatdown in week 1 or 2. But there's been other games that they've played, and they've been good. Make no mistake, they've been good, but they haven't just gone out and just throttled the competition like some of those past dominant teams have. So we'll see what happens, but everything's on the table for Michigan, and yeah, it's going to be exciting. So that's it for me. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. That's it. Peace.